Look at this. Imagine waking up and walking into your kitchen, only to find a humanoid robot wiping down your counters, stacking your dishes. Most people still picture clunky tin cans that can barely walk. But this week, a $16,000 Android folded laundry, a robo-dog, blasted fires 200 feet, and Beijing opened entries for the first Robot Olympics. In the next few minutes, I'll unpack exactly how these 5 breakthroughs flip everything we thought we knew about AI hardware, and what it means for your home or your job. I've spent the last 3 years covering bleeding-edge robotics and dig through all kinds of channels that rack up millions of views, so you're in the right place. Let's jump in. In just the past few days, the robotics industry has gone from fast-moving to flat-out surreal. Major breakthroughs are happening not just in research labs, but in public demonstrations, emergency response tests, and corporate keynotes. China's leading robotics companies are unveiling new systems at an unbelievable pace, from domestic helper bots that can twist, crouch, and adapt to any task, to firefighting machines designed to run headfirst into danger zones humans can't even enter. Lenovo, of all companies, just introduced a humanoid robot capable of Tai Chi and real-time customer support. And in what might be the biggest twist of all, Beijing has announced the first ever world humanoid robot sports games, hosted in actual Olympic stadiums, with medal athletes competing in events like gymnastics, soccer, and track. This isn't a drill, it's not a prototype demo. It's the start of a future that's arriving way faster than most people expected. So let's unpack it, from the breakthroughs driving Unitree's shockingly capable humanoid to the Olympic-style games where these machines are about to go head-to-head in full public view. Unitree G1 Plus AMO, when a $16,000 robot starts thinking like a human body. Until very recently, Unitree's G1 humanoid was mostly talked about as a cheap and surprisingly capable entry into the home robot market. But its newest upgrade, called AMO, short for Adaptive Motion Optimization, changes everything. This isn't just a software tweak, it's a full-scale leap in how robots move, react, and adapt to the real world. AMO turns the G1 from a programmable puppet into a machine that moves almost like a living thing. Let's break that down. Most humanoid robots rely on rigid pre-programmed motions or motion capture data to imitate how people walk, bend, or stretch. But those systems struggle when anything changes in the environment. They can't adjust on the fly. That's where AMO comes in. It uses a hybrid system combining reinforcement learning with trajectory optimization, running millions of simulations in virtual environments where the robot fails, learns, and adapts without breaking any hardware. The result? A robot that can clean your kitchen, pick objects off the ground, stretch sideways, crouch down low, or reach overhead without losing balance. It doesn't just copy a move, it understands the goal and finds a new way to achieve it based on its own internal model of motion. Even more impressive, when you use VR teleoperation to guide its movements, the G1 doesn't freeze when you let go. It keeps going, seamlessly transitioning from human-controlled input to full autonomy, executing the task as if it knows what you wanted all along. This is powered by something called a hybrid motion synthesis pipeline, a complex blend of motion capture data and real-time command generation that enables full body coordination. That means the robot doesn't just move its arms or rotate its waist. It bends at the knees, shifts weight between its legs, and uses its entire frame to reach difficult angles or stabilize during complex tasks. In other words, it's using whole body planning, not just isolated movements. And here's the kicker, G1 with AMO can operate outside its training data. That means if you ask it to crouch lower, stretch further, or rotate in ways it was never explicitly taught, it still figures it out. That's something even the most advanced robots have struggled with for years. In benchmark tests, G1 outperformed older models across nearly every dimension: yaw, pitch, roll, base height tracking, and more, all with minimal tracking error, even when pushed into unfamiliar territory. One test had it crouch to the floor, pick up baskets on either side, then walk forward and carefully place them at eye level. Think about that. That's coordination across 29 joints from ankle to wrist, done in real time. And not only did it work, it looked shockingly smooth and deliberate, more like a person moving than a machine. Suddenly, the dream of a humanoid that can live in your house and work alongside you doesn't seem so far away. But Unitree wasn't done. While the G1 learned how to clean your living room, its robotic sibling was preparing for something far more intense, charging into burning buildings. B2, firefighting robo-dog, 40 liters per second of foam and a whole new kind of controversy. The same company behind the G1 humanoid has another machine that's just as advanced, but built for chaos. Meet the B2 firefighting robot dog, a modified version of Unitree's quadruped platform, now equipped with military-grade upgrades and built specifically for disaster response. While the G1 helps at home, the B2 charges into places that could kill a human in seconds. This upgraded version features a powerful water and foam cannon mounted on its back that can shoot up to 60 meters, pumping out liquid at a staggering rate of 40 liters per second. It's not just for show, this is a real, usable tool for putting out serious fires. The B2's joints have been enhanced by 170%, allowing it to climb obstacles up to 15 inches high, navigate steep staircases at 45-degree angles, and power through unstable environments like collapsed buildings or industrial sites. But strength alone isn't what makes the B2 different. It's the built-in intelligence and survival systems. The robot uses LiDAR sensors, real-time video, and onboard environmental data to understand the layout of hazardous areas. It also comes with heat-resistant shielding and its own cooling sprinkler system, allowing it to function in high-temperature zones that would melt most electronics. Plus, it features swappable batteries that can be replaced on the fly without compromising its waterproofing or internal systems. All of this is designed to allow the B2 to go where firefighters can't, inside collapsed buildings, toxic spill zones, and even total blackouts with zero visibility. In theory, it's the perfect first responder for situations that are simply too dangerous for humans. But here's the part that's raising eyebrows. If a robot can push into any environment and unleash 60 meters of high-pressure water or foam, what else could it be used for? Critics are already asking whether similar hardware could be retooled for crowd control or riot suppression. As of now, there are no international regulations governing how these robotic systems can or can't be deployed. Unitree insists the firefighting dog is built exclusively for emergency scenarios, but without strict usage protocols, that promise is just that, a promise. Still, while some regulators are sounding the alarm, Lenovo has taken a very different approach by designing a humanoid robot meant not for chaos, but for corporate life. Lenovo Lexiang No. 1, the AI-powered employee that practices Tai Chi. It might sound like a headline from the future, but at the Tech World 2025 event in Shanghai, Lenovo debuted something that instantly turned heads. Its very first humanoid robot, known as Lexiang No. 1. And it walked on stage, bowed to the crowd, and proceeded to perform a full Tai Chi routine. Slow, balanced, graceful movements, live and completely autonomous. The crowd fell silent, not just because the motions were accurate, but because they were unexpectedly human. But this was more than just a performance. During the same demo, Lexiang No. 1 participated in a live Q&A session, pulling real-time business data from Lenovo's internal systems and answering audience questions as if it were a trained company rep. It didn't just repeat memorized phrases, it accessed live info, synthesized answers, and communicated them with a calm, clear voice. The secret behind it? Lenovo's robot operates on a triple-stack AI architecture, device to edge to cloud. This layered system allows the bot to handle light tasks locally, heavier computation at the edge, and deeper data pulls through secure cloud infrastructure. In short, the robot can access both public and private enterprise data in real time, giving it the ability to assist with logistics, operations, even customer service. Like this video? Then hit like and subscribe to help us with the algorithm and show the video to even more people. That's where things get a little murky. If a robot pulls and recombines proprietary information, who owns the insights it creates? Lenovo has promised on-device encryption and internal data sandboxing, but the fine print hasn't been released. In corporate circles, this is becoming a big deal. If a robot employee generates a new sales forecast from proprietary files, does it belong to the machine, the team, or the person who asked the question? Still, Lenovo clearly sees this as a long-term bet. They've already announced plans to deploy Lexiang No. 1 into elder care, healthcare, and front desk service over the next year. But before that rollout happens, the bot will face one more public test, competing in the World Humanoid Robot Sports Games, where it'll be judged not on spreadsheets, but on athleticism. The World Humanoid Robot Sports Games, Olympic stadiums, medal athletes, and the battle for movement supremacy. On August 15, 2025, history is going to be made in Beijing. The legendary Bird's Nest Stadium, built for the 2008 Olympics, will host a very different kind of competition. Instead of humans sprinting, flipping, and scoring goals, the athletes will be machines, humanoid robots, competing in what's being called the World Humanoid Robot Sports Games. It might sound like a publicity stunt, but make no mistake, this is a serious global competition. Robots will participate in 11 athletic events, including track and field sprints, gymnastics routines, obstacle runs, and even full-on soccer matches. The entire event is co-developed by robotics engineers and professional athletes with one clear mission: to push robotic motion algorithms as close to human performance as possible, under real-time pressure. This isn't just a showcase for tech nerds, it's a public, high-stakes stress test, and it's being treated that way. Teams are required to submit pre-verified firmware to prevent any last-minute robot doping, where someone might tweak a robot's internal performance levels for unfair advantage. Every move will be broadcast to millions via live streams and major media coverage. The result? The world's best robots will be judged not in controlled lab environments, but on a public world stage, with sensors failing, balance being tested, and mistakes going viral. But there's more riding on this than just medals. The games also represent a major push to normalize humanoid robots in mainstream culture. Think of it. What better way to introduce robots as human-like companions than to have them run, jump, and fall, just like us, in a stadium built for the real thing? And it's not the first time this year China has pushed the boundaries. Back in April, a group of 20 robots participated in a half marathon, with one machine, Kyungkung Ultra, finishing after 2 hours and 40 minutes. That wasn't just a show of stamina, it was proof that robots could maintain dynamic balance and coordinated locomotion across long distances, outdoors, in unpredictable conditions. Eat 'em by P&D Botics, blind locomotion and a body that learns from every step. Hidden away in a modest lab run by P&D Botics, a rising robotics startup based in China, is a robot named ADAM. And while it doesn't have a flashy corporate sponsor or viral video campaign, it might just be the most technically advanced humanoid in the lineup. Adam stands about 1.66 meters tall and weighs 60 kilograms, but its secret isn't its size, it's the way it walks. Adam uses a combination of deep reinforcement learning and imitation learning to develop one of the most human-like gaits we've ever seen on a machine. What makes it unique is that it can walk across uneven terrain without using vision. That's right, no cameras, no object detection, just raw balance, internal sensing, and physics. This is what the team calls blind locomotion, and it's been developed using NVIDIA's Isaac Gym, a powerful simulation platform that lets robots learn thousands of tasks in parallel at lightning speed. Adam's internal model is trained to respond in real time to unexpected changes, like a loose floorboard, a small bump, or a missing step. And it doesn't need to see it coming. Instead, it feels the imbalance through force feedback and adjusts on the fly. Under the hood, it's running on a relatively modest Intel i7 processor, but thanks to extremely efficient firmware, that's all it needs to manage real-time coordination between 25 force-controlled actuators. Each leg alone can deliver up to 360 Newton-meters of torque, enough to lift and balance its full body weight mid-motion. Add in modular components, and Adam becomes field repairable and easily upgradable, which is critical for long-term deployment outside controlled labs. According to insiders, ADAM was trained using human motion capture data, then fine-tuned to its unique body structure. The result? Movements that are not just stable, but fluid. Walks aren't robotic jerks, but confident strides. When it crouches, there's no hesitation. When it twists, it uses waist and leg torque in perfect harmony. And here's the twist. While this robot was quietly impressing engineers, 2 major defense contractors reportedly approached P&D Botics for licensing discussions. No deals have been confirmed, but the company hasn't denied it either. That's raised questions about whether ADAM is headed for civilian use or something far more tactical. But regardless of its future, one thing is certain. Adam will be on full display at the World Robot Conference in Beijing, just days before the Olympics of Robotics begin. The future just rang the doorbell. In barely a season, we leapt from clunky demos to androids that mop the floor, firefighting dogs that outspray fire hoses, corporate reps that pull ERP data mid-Tai Chi, and an Olympic-scale arena where machines will chase medals. The takeaway isn't robots are coming, they're already here, negotiating for factory contracts and vying for TV ratings. So here's the challenge. If one of these bots showed up at your house tomorrow, what's the very first chore or chaos you'd unleash it on? Drop your answer below. So, take a deep breath, check out the links in the description, and see you next time, and maybe on the sidelines of the Robot Olympics.